do something a little different today on Instant Classic, as we're going to look at the entirety of a building, but it's really something that's so much more. The Pantheon in Rome. It was built in the early 2nd century as a Roman temple, but the Pantheon actually became a Catholic church in the 7th century. It's a one-of-a-kind structure. It's cylindrical with a large granite Corinthian columns and a rectangular vestibule. And if you look at all ancient Roman buildings, it remains mostly intact compared to the rest of them. And it's been visited by millions of people every single year. And even if you haven't visited, if you take a look at it, you probably can see the inspiration that inspired so many buildings in the West, including the U.S. Capitol, the National Gallery of Art in D.C., and then anything to do with Thomas Jefferson, the Jefferson Memorial, Monticello, his home, the University of Virginia Rotunda, which obviously he's the one who founded and came up with that. And just in case anyone didn't know, Pantheon actually means temple to all the gods.
Oh yeah, take a look at the image. It's a absolutely beautiful building, but it actually has more ancient influences than even the colonial period. The dome that was built over the Florentine cathedral in the early Renaissance, the Vatican dome, which Michelangelo had a hand in building, it couldn't have been done without the really remarkable way that this was put together. On the outside, you see the facade, which looks like a triangle, right, with all the columns, but the building is actually round. Zip to another picture, Mike. You get a sense on the inside. You can see the roundness of it. This is really the biggest dome that was ever created in the ancient world, and it's a dome that encompasses the entirety of the building. You can see the little slots in the side there where all the statues of the gods were, and it has, in the picture on the right, it has an absolute oculus, an eye, the open part of the building, very in the center of the roof, the dome there, that where the sunlight comes in. And as the sun traveled across the Roman sky, at various times it would slant in different directions to illuminate the different gods and goddesses in their niches. It became a beautiful Christian church and had tremendous impact on Brunelleschi's dome in Florence, on, again, Michelangelo's dome for the Vatican, to say nothing of colonial revivalist, classical revivalist art and architecture. So really an important building. There was nothing like it in ancient Rome. When you think of Rome, you think of columns. And you think about all those buildings and fragments of buildings that no longer stand. And you think about the durability of this building and what it means. But what an absolutely beautiful building it is, an absolute triumph of Roman engineering and architecture. And you can see how big it is, right? I mean, again, in a world without hydraulic lift machines and cranes, and it's a pretty stupendous thing. And you could see that one of Augustus Caesar's generals, Marcus Agrippa, is the one who built it, a private donor, a patron. Agrippa was Augustus Caesar's military genius who, the Battle of Actium, played a major naval battle of Actium in 29 BC, played a major part in defeating Mark Antony and his Roman forces to unite the people of Rome, the Empire of Rome, under one man, the first emperor, Augustus Octavian Caesar. And Marcus Agrippa donated that building out of his own money to the people of Rome.